This is your boy DJ Leon D. I'm going to tell you about some stuff you need to know, man. I did a catering event, and you will see it down here on the catering, on the videos. I did a catering event, man. It went as good as you can get. I cooked brisket, pulled chicken, not pulled pork. I did some chicken. I did some sausages, hot dogs, you name it. I did it all. But let me tell you about catering that gets under my skin. And this is no jab at any particular person or any particular body. It's no jab at them. You know, when you do a catering event, I said this a couple of years ago in one of my videos. The caterer don't want help. We don't want help. No, we do not. But what happens though? When you cater, they all want to help. And boy, that winds me up. I don't care if it's from bringing the food out of the truck. I don't care if it's from setting the food up. I don't care if it's from putting food on the crescendo or tables. I don't care. But I don't want your help. And sometimes I struggle with trying to tell somebody I don't want your help in a nice, in a nice way. Sometimes I tell somebody that because I don't want help. But people just kind and wants to help. And I'm going to tell you the kind of help I really, really don't want. I'm going to start at the very, very top. I do not want your help in bringing a dish that I did not sanction or bring to the party. I don't want your help doing that. But what happened last week? Somebody decided to bring some potato salad to the party. Now, nothing wrong with potato salad. I like a good potato salad. But here's the problem. I don't like yours. I don't want it being the first time I ever tasted, saw, or believed in yours. Because I don't. Your food's gonna suck. And plus, when people talk about what they like the most at a catering event, it shouldn't be he versus her or her versus he. It should be, hey man, your steaks, your brisket, on point, very, very good. I don't want somebody asking, how was mine? Yours sucked. That's the bottom line. I don't want somebody asking all that. No, I really don't. What I really want to do is just deliver the food, set it up, and go. I just did a catering event for 350 people. For 350 people. You know how many slabs of ribs that was to cook that? But my whole point is, I did it. That was a challenge to me. I did it. And I don't want you trying to do it because you're not trained to do what I do, how I do, when I do, what I do. You're not trained in any of that. No, you're not. So don't pretend you are, and don't mix your food with my food. Because when they got to say what's bad, true story. A guy brought some food over there, and he swore to God that his food was good. He brought over a brisket. And I was looking at him like, okay, the brisket was packed in a blanket. I'm talking about in a blanket. The kind you put on your back when you're cold. Yeah. The brisket was wrapped in a blanket with au jus and juices dripping everywhere. Everywhere. So now he ran in like he had a baby in his hand. I thought he had a baby. No. Just a brisket. Soaking wet towel. So I'm like, he got a brisket in a baby, in a towel that's wrapped like it's a baby. And now I got to explain to everybody here what he got over there because I'm not sure. So at the end of the day, we got rid of the blanket and him. And then he came back into the party, and a couple people said, man, this brisket sucks, but man, the ribs are on point. And I was kind of like, are you serious? And so I looked at it and thought about it and said, everything's on point except for his cut of the brisket. He took offense to that. Well, let me tell you something. Don't bring food, or you know what, even better, don't bring a knife to a gunfight. He wanted people to say about my food like they said about his food. Everybody knew about my food already. That's why I was hired to do the event. So, but he wanted his food to be on the in the starting lineup. His food wasn't worthy to be on the bench. Now, I'm not mad at him because he tried to do things right. But the problem is, people sat there and talked bad about his food, and I felt bad about his food because everybody was talking about it. Not in a positive way. And one guy walked over while he was next to me, and he said, "Leon, this is the worst brisket you've ever made for us." Well, I didn't make that brisket, but I didn't want to say anything, and I didn't want my buddy being more embarrassed, more hurt. Fuck him. His feelings went straight downhill because they told him, they told me in front of him, "Man, your brisket isn't like it usually is." That's what he told me. And I was kind of like, yeah, I use different seasoning, but next time I make it for it. I knew where it came from. The screw up next to me. So I knew on point blank exactly where it came from. But he was determined to bring something uninvited. If you're going to cater an event, you got to tell your friends do's and don'ts. Show up with the appetite and with the thirst for drinks. That's all you got to do. Don't try and do anything different, anything separately, anything upscale. No. Don't try that. And that was my whole point to him was, listen, dude, nobody asked you to bring things, but he wanted to participate in the event. It was a work event, and he wanted to say, hey, I brought something in too, which I don't mind at all. But what he can't do is say, I brought something in to help Leon. I didn't need any help because I had sweet corn, baked beans. I had a whole lot of stuff. I did not need your help. But he felt better by saying, I helped Leon like Leon asked me to help. No, I did not. I didn't ask you for shit. It is what it is. And I knew you were a novice cook. I just don't want your food mixed in with all the other good foods. I knew you were a novice, but I didn't want everything mixed in together. No, I did not. Because the bottom line is, I knew your food was gonna suck because I had been to your house before. So I knew it was gonna be like. I already knew. And the bottom line is, I think his wife should have told him before he tried to cook some food, hey, honey, let's say this for a retirement experience, not for right now. But I think his wife told him. But, like most dudes, your wife takes some stuff, you don't want to hear it. Most guys learn things by screwing up. They screw up. That's how we learn things. We don't learn it the normal, natural way because we're dumb as shit, we're hard-headed, and our minds made up, this is what we're going to do. Because I go through it with my youngest son right now for an apartment. I told him, you're paying a lot of money, I wouldn't do it, blah, blah, blah. What he tells me, Dad, I thought about it, thank you for your advice, I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm fine with that. I am fine with that. As long as it doesn't cost me any money. And see, talking about money, he went out and bought a brisket for $7.49 per pound. $7.49 per pound. Which to me was crazy as hell from the very, very, very beginning. Because I knew that he could have went to Costco and got a brisket for $4.25 a pound. But he thought they getting a better cut of meat, nicer everything, would impress me. No. It made me say he's dumb as hell. He's actually dumber than what I thought. Because he was. So, my whole point to this podcast or video is that when you have a cookout, you don't have kids fixing their own food. You don't have adults bringing their own foods. You just don't do that because they're gonna throw it away. They're gonna spill it. They're not gonna like it. And you, as their parents, should be able to step up and slap the shit out of him. Yeah, I am a big believer in corporal punishment. I think that if you smack them when they're young, you ain't gonna get smacked when they get older from them, because they are going to beat the shit out of him like no end. So the other thing about catering too is that you can't have two cooks. You can't have one of your friends back there cooking food like you're cooking food. You are the caterer. You stay with the food the entire time. You do not have someone running off doing things for you, unless they can do it while you stay where you're staying at. But you can have Uncle Cephas coming in there and wants to flip the burgers or flip the chickens while you're gone somewhere. No. Get him a girlfriend or get him a girlfriend or a hooker and let him do his own thing. But you can't have him messing with food. You just can't do it. Because he's drinking more than you. If you think you're halfway drunk, you should not have to look around and see all the other halfway drunks, because none exist. None exist. So my point is this: if you're gonna be cooking, you got to go solo or raw by yourself. You can't depend on somebody else. You can't ask nobody else. You got to do it by yourself. You got to get smart enough to say, you know what? I want to cook at 12 o'clock. I don't have any company coming over before 12. Then you go do what you got to do. That's on you. It's all your food. If you want to go out there and say, hey, Leon, you mind doing the basics I do the plate? Sure. Give me a reason why. Because if the pitching sucks, I'm not doing that either. No. Just tell me. We'll make it work. But I'm not going to go out there and do shit that hurt myself. And when it comes to catering, you don't bring food, you don't steer food. If you steer in the vegetables or whatever at the last minute, people walk through, they see you, they think that you're making all their food. And then when it sucks, don't be surprised. But you're not making any foods though. But don't be surprised when you're stuck. I mean, it's just not what it is in the old days. And old people would tell you quickly, these grits are nasty. I don't want no butter and salt on my grits. They would tell you quickly. Old people will break your heart to no end and don't give a damn about it. They don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. So if you're going to have somebody involved with you that's involved with your cooking, know in advance who that is and what role do they play. Know in advance. Who are you? My name Bubba. Bubba what? Bubba Jenkins. Why are you in the kitchen? Oh, yeah, I'm going to help. I'm just scanning through. I'm going to look around. No, get the hell out of here. You're not doing nothing but live. Get the hell out of here. I got a guy at work. His dad liked to buy smokers. And when he tell me some of the things his dad uses them for, as far as cooking and stuff, he's a lost cause. He's a lost damn cause. So he likes to say, my dad doing A, B, C, and D. Nah, your dad down there just fucking up meat. He's a country boy who got lots of meat and no goddamn brains. I don't know if he had mad cow disease before, but he's a lost cause. Well, my dad, you can't say it's about my dad. Nah, your dad's a loser. I can say it. I don't know him. The most he can do is want to fight me. So, in the next video, we're going to talk about points. How to get to points and how to maximize points. Now, like I said, I'm not an expert at anything I ever talk about. I'm not an expert at it. But I got a lot of life experiences, and I can tell you about me, the product, how it invaded my life. I'm going to tell you about it. Because, see, a lot of new people, younger folks, the fuck ups, they walk in here like, we know all that. Yeah, we know all that. Nobody has said you don't know stuff, but everybody has said you don't know what you think you know. That's a different world. You tell me what you don't know, and I'll tell you what you should know. But don't get it all twisted, though, because I'm not going to sit there and sugarcoat and tell you how great you are and how much you mean to life. You don't mean shit to life, and actually, nobody's lives. So, okay, so we're talking about the smokers and how Leon D handles the smokers. Okay, peace out.